Typical, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Now with this program, with IMS, you see students wanting to be here and wanting to succeed, obviously, to get that first job and to make a living. But describing the students here at IMS is just amazing. They're great. They're great students. They're great people. They come from all different backgrounds. The diversity is crazy on campus. And it's a great time too, because not only are we learning, but we're networking. We're making new friendships, and even with myself, students are talking to me, asking about how I did it, how I came up on the ranks, and things of that nature. And it's been an amazing time with these students here. And even myself, just me in the industry, I've had the pleasure of working with so many industry professionals, from sports to entertainment, and now, of course, me, as I do my own TV show and working with Kendall Gill, a former NBA veteran, and his show. It's just a great time. And not only are we obviously making a living, but we're enjoying what we're doing. So it's just a great time. IMS have made that possible for me, and it's making it possible for all these students here as well. My name is Tony Lopez. I am the host of TLO TV and the host of The Parlay featuring Kendall Gill, and I am IMS.
Hi, I'm Rob Rose, and I'm one of the instructors here at Illinois Media School. I've been teaching here at the school since 2010, as a matter of fact, between Lombard and Chicago campuses. I teach radio. I work nights at 100.3 WSHE in Chicago, and I've been in the radio industry 27 years, 17 of those 27 as a station program director and operations manager, which means I hired people that came out of schools like this one. Unfortunately, places that I've been, I haven't been near schools like this, so I've had to go to places like Dunkin' Donuts and say, hey, you have a personality, would you like to try radio? So this is definitely the place to come. It's going to prepare you for absolutely everything that you need to know about the broadcast industry. We're talking radio, television, web, podcasting, absolutely everything. I keep in touch with all of my students that I've had in my classes since 2010 on Facebook and social media, and I love seeing all of the success stories. In fact, I work downtown Chicago with several graduates from this program. So get in touch with the school and take advantage of it. Make it your career. Do it now. I'm Rob Rose, nights on 100.3 WSHE in Chicago, and I am IMS.
I'm going to be game ready. So what a better way to be game ready than to actually play for a professional league, such as the Arena Football League or the Indoor Football League or the Champions Indoor Football League, the National Arena League for that matter. And this upcoming week, we're going to be talking about all the players that have been moving from one league to another. And we like to focus on it. It gives us an opportunity to highlight these players and show people that, this is possible. If you want to maintain the dream and you want to keep on moving forward, you can do it, and there are ways of going out there and getting it done.
And the best way to stay in shape for football and be ready for football is to play football. So we'll see the first one. From the Arena Football League to the Canadian Football League, Randy Colling.
Gladiators to the Stampeders. Can't ask for, to be moved from one team, a better team, to another, and he's a native Canadian. So they were excited to have him up there. As you know, they reference Americans up there as imports when you watch the games, and you're only allowed to have so many imports on the team. So this guy was game ready, been playing for the Cleveland Gladiators, and now he's ready to rock and roll, and they picked him in the first round, pick number 6, and the Stampeders are excited to have him.
Well, he should be a seamless transition because he grew up on the CFL game, so he's used to the idiosyncrasies But again, he was playing football ready for the football call.
Correct. And, in Arena League, even though it's a smaller field, different rules, and not as many players on the field, there are very big similarities from the Arena Football League to the CFL.
Well, there's a lot of throwing, a lot of speed kills in
Yes.
both leagues. One because the field is so small, and the other one because the field is so big.
And both leagues allow forward motion. So that's a big deal. And so that allows you to be prepared for that transition to that game.
All right, well, very excited for Randy. I think he'll do very well up there.
Absolutely.
All right, well, then going from the Wichita Falls Nighthawks going all the way to the Washington Redskins.
As we say it on the I Want Football 365, posts hashtag IFL to hashtag NFL. And that is ultimately the dream that everybody's looking for. Why do you continue to keep playing for next to nothing is so you can get that opportunity to get that phone call, and Tino did.
Yeah. Tina Tuilata, 6'5", 320 pounds. So he's a big boy, offensive lineman for Midwestern State University. So he just had the mini camp 11th through 14th. So congratulations getting up there.
Absolutely. And, we're going to hear more about these stories as the season goes on. It's unfortunate part of the game, but injuries do tend to happen. And when they happen, there's, again, leagues and teams, they want game-ready players.
Right.
People who are playing now and are ready to be seamless transition into their system.
Because as the leagues start winding down for the indoor leagues, that's when it's really building for the Canadian Football League and for the National Football League. So the best way to stay in shape is to play. I know I've said it 15 times already.
Yeah.
But another guy going to the NFL from the Barnstormers, offensive lineman Mitchell Bell.
And this isn't the first time you've heard about the Iowa Barnstormers putting players into the NFL. Their most famous player is Kurt Warner, of course.
Well, and rightfully so.
Yes. Hall of Famer.
So he got an invite. Congratulations to him. And a couple of National Arena League guys from Jacksonville.
Yes. They got the call as well.
Yeah, going to the CFL. So congratulations, guys.
Jacksonville always puts out great product.
They really are the cream of that league.
They know how to evaluate talent and get the right people on the field. And, of course, it's showing because they're moving players on.
Yeah, the two guys that are going, the first one is Jabari Gorman. He was actually a Gator, Florida Gator. Played for IFL and Nebraska Danger. He was the Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
So he's got talent. Then Marvin Ross, the other one, and he was the AFL's 2016's Rookie of the Year. So he obviously knows how to play. And he looks like they'll both be a force of defensive back. So congratulations to you two guys.
Congratulations. But Gorman, sorry to tell you, Hamilton Tiger Cats are my mortal enemies. So good luck, but not too much luck.
Like a true neutral media sports person.
Sorry, I love my Argonauts.
Well, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they just gave an invitation to the Centex Cavalry running back, Lars Seastrunk. So, congratulations.
Again, from the CIF to the CFL. If you've noticed, since we've been talking about this segment, we've actually had players moving from every league so far. And whether it's to the CFL or to the NFL, we've been able to show that every league produces real talent.
Oh, yes. And we actually I went to a Winnipeg Blue Bomber combine. There we go. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
And it was just amazing, all the athletes go out there. There's about 70 people out there. So we'll talk to Brian Hendricks for a little bit. He was very gracious and answered my questions. But they're looking for guys all over. If they can find some Arena Football League, if they can do it through the MSFL, all the better. Because they've got their Leggett, their defensive back, out of one of these combine events. They go around the nation. As soon as the Grey Cup ends, weather's warm in California in February, they start doing it in California, and they follow the weather where it's nice and warm. So they're looking all year long for talent.
Yes, they are. And, it was nice that we actually got 4 Chaos players actually in attendance at the Winnipeg Blue Bomber Combine over the weekend. I know you had an opportunity to talk to Michael Anthony Shuchuk for a moment.
Yes, he was there. He's a quarterback trying out. I wasn't able to stay for the whole time, but I was there at the beginning. He looked great, I must say. All the quarterbacks there, I think there were 4 or 5 of them I watched. I talked to 2 of them, and you can tell these guys love football. They're dedicated to it. They have jobs, so they put a lot of work to do this football.
That's right.
They love it. They love the competition. And it's not for money. They're not getting paid much of anything.
No, and especially if you're playing for the Chaos, they're a registered nonprofit. None of the players are getting paid, so they're strictly doing it for the love of the game. You know, they are broadcasted by the Illinois Media School as well, so these players get opportunities to get film on themselves, which gives them an opportunity to have phone calls from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to actually get a call and say, "Hey, we recognize your talent. We want you to come on up."
Yeah, and they said that, well, they don't expect anything, so they might get no invites. They might give out up to 5, so.
Yeah, it'd be surprised. You know, it'd be great to see eventually. Hey, hashtag Chaos to hashtag Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I'm looking forward to making that post.
Yeah, as many players we can get from the Chicago Chaos to the bigger leagues, we're happy.
Yep, absolutely.
Even if or going to college, getting a scholarship, that's one of the benefits not getting paid on. There's not too many benefits in not getting paid. That's one
right.
of them.
You don't lose your, the eligibility of playing for a school if you play for us, which is nice.
And you've done that before. You've gotten a scholarship to.
Yep, they've had some opportunities to because of the film that they get from our games, to go present them to coaches, and then say, hey, you know what? I have an opportunity to move forward here and do something, and they're like, yeah, you are good, and then they bring them out, test them out, put them on the field, and the next thing you know, whether it's a scholarship or a pro contract, we're trying to help these guys move on.
Yeah, and they're ready to play football. And coaches are looking for talent, no matter where you are and whatever stage you are. They can see talent.
Well, Nicholas White, one of the players from the Chaos, was also there, and he actually played for the Amarillo Venom at one time.
Team.
Yeah, so, you know, the Chaos have some pros on their team as well, which is a remarkable pedigree for that guy, and he's a beast. So I hope he gets a phone call. And, of course, Quinnell Johnson Jr. was there.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite players on the Chaos. I enjoy watching him tremendously. He's kind of like, I call him prime time. He can return punts. He can do kickoff returns, and he's a lockdown corner. If you're going to throw his direction, it's going to be a bad day for you.
He's an athlete. You can just tell this by looking at him.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, one last person we're going to highlight before we end the segment is going to New York Giants from the Spokane Empire, Nick Hag, linebacker. So congratulations. He signed a contract, and look forward to hearing more good news out of New York for you.
Well, New York Giants, that's I mentioned it, I think, 2 episodes ago, that I believe at the end of the day in the Super Bowl, you'll see the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. And then the headline will be, can Tom Brady do what he needs to do to actually overcome the Eli Manning curse? Or is Eli Manning going to show that he has dominance and has his ticket in the hat to be the hashtag GOAT with an asterisk?
So now that you're prognosticating so far out,
Hey, why not? Especially if this guy, who knows, maybe he's going to have a positive impact on that game.
All right, you heard it here first. You can take it right to Vegas. All right, we're going to take a break for now, but we'll be back with more Iowa Football 365.
What brought me to the Illinois Media School was my love for sports radio. In high school, I became a huge 670 The Score fan and wanted to be part of sports radio. So after trying a couple other things and I'm not really being what I wanted to do, I found my passion for media and especially sports radio at the Illinois Media School. What I enjoy is finding like-minded people like myself that have a passion for the media industry and are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals and be what they want to be in this industry. And that's what I like about the students you continue to see at the Illinois Media School. A lot of talent, a lot of drive, and that pushes you to be better as well as making everybody's work better on top of that. My name's Rick Camp. I'm a producer at 670 The Score. I'm an instructor at the Illinois Media School, and I am IMS.
Hi, my name is Peyton Adams. I work for US 99.5 in Chicago, and the reason I came to the Illinois Media School to be a teacher was because I didn't have a mentor growing up in the business, I should say. I did a lot of learning on my own, kind of going out there in the world and just exploring and learning as I go. When I got my first radio job, I really didn't know anything. It was just a learning curve from there, and I had a few people help me along the way, but I felt like this would be a great place for me to come and utilize my skills and my talents to help these students get to the next level. I love to be here. I love to be a part of their daily activities and help them and guide them and help them with editing, help them build their confidence and just really find who they are and find their voice and what they want to do. The students that attend here it can be a mixture of anybody fresh out of high school to somebody in their 50s. And that's what I like about it here, is that you get a mixture of everybody. You get people who are, young and eager and hungry, and people who have already had careers that kind of want to do what their dream is and live out their dreams. So the students here are driven, they're focused, they're ready, and they want it. And that's what I love so much about teaching here, is just seeing the creativity and hearing about what their ideas are and seeing what they do and what kind of projects they do. It's really a great environment for like-minded people that want to excel. And that's one thing that I noticed in all the students here, is they just really do a great job in grabbing the bull by the horns and going for it. So I really love that about working with them. My name is Peyton Adams. I work for US 99.5 on air, and I'm an instructor here at IMS, and I am IMS.
Hey everybody, I'm Pete Ferrari, the Regional Station Manager of the BeOnAir.com network, part of the Illinois Media School, both the Lombard campus and the Chicago campus. I've been part of the Illinois Media School family now for almost 10 years. I enrolled as a student back in 2007 after getting my undergrad and associates at Creighton University. I decided to come to Illinois Media School to further my education in the world of broadcasting. That then led me to work as an on-air talent for Radio Disney, AM 1300, for over 6 years. I also worked in promotions for them and did some production. I also worked for KFLN Radio, AM 960, a country station, and I worked for KJJM The Rock, a classic rock station. After my tenure with both Disney and KFLN and KJJM, I moved to the sports side of things and became a play-by-play announcer for the Big East Digital Network, covering primarily college volleyball. I'm glad to have stayed and been a part of the family. I returned in 2009 as one of the assistants for the sports stations and now help run and operate all 5 radio stations in the network. One of the biggest things I enjoy about working here is coming from the perspective of a student, not only a college student, but a student at this school, finding out ways to continually expand the knowledge base of what the students learn. The way to describe the students of this school is very dynamic, very unique, and very employable. And the reason I put that word at the end is they come in with a drive, they come in with a passion. It's a short program, it's less than a year, but within that time they're gaining the skills that when they graduate, they're right alongside every other college graduate, if not in certain ways and aspects ahead of them, because we don't treat our students just as students, we treat our students as pre-professionals. So the first week of class, you could be out doing play-by-play for a sporting event, you could be doing camera or sideline reporting, you could be interviewing a band, you could be doing a show, all of that almost from day one. And that's why we treat you as pre-professionals, treat them as pre-professionals, because we know they have what it takes. They came here for a reason, so we want to take that passion from day one and implement that out in the field. So that way, they're not waiting their 9 months to get involved and learn the skill. They're learning the skill from day one. So I look forward to working with anybody that comes through these walls, as I did years ago, and training them to get a job so one day I can go and listen to them on the radio or watch them on television, which I do with so many different people that have come through the halls of IMS. Again, I'm Pete Ferrari, play-by-play for the Big East Digital Network. I am the regional station manager for the 5 radio and web stations here, and I am IMS.
I got started at IMS. I think I heard a radio commercial. It was just all about media and broadcasting, and at the time I was DJing and I wanted to take it to the next step, and I wanted more people to hear what I was playing and my opinion on music. So I went out, emailed them, they're like, hey, come on, check out the campus and let's see what's going on. Found out that they actually had a radio there that I could DJ on, which was a great opportunity for me. They taught me how to just create a show. IMS really opened my eyes to producing your own show and there's more to it than just playing music and DJing and mixing the songs in. You actually have to talk and create a show, entertain people, maybe talk about social media even. There's always stuff going on. IMS really helped me open my eyes to what a radio show is, and how to promote myself. So all the teachers actually work in the industry, and they have so many contacts, so many things that you need to know that you just got to get out of them. They're always open to talking, always open to giving you information, letting you know what you need to do to get to the next step. Being one of the students, I thought one of the best things for me was how creative everyone was. Everyone had their own creative intake and input on projects. You get to work with groups, also you get to work alone, but with the group projects, each individual person had their own say on where would you shoot something, how would you record something, just the script, copy points. Like, people, you would really feed off of the other students. If you thought you were stuck or you just had no creativity on something, everyone would always help you out and kind of push you to the next level, because hey, you got to be the best. We're all out there trying to get a job in the broadcasting world, and the students really helped. My name's Mitch Titan. I work promotions at Star 105.5. I went to the Lombard campus, and I am IMS.
Well, I got started back in 2010. I was freelance sports writing for a couple different newspapers with the Sun-Times, and I wasn't really finding a permanent job, which is what I really wanted. And I would always hear those commercials on the radio about ICB, and I finally went in, and everyone was pretty welcoming. While I was there, all the instructors were very helpful, and it's just a great place to take advantage of their internships. I mean, you can get pretty much any internship you want if you put your mind to it. I know while I was there, I interned both at Comcast Sportsnet Chicago and at The Score, both at the same time. So they give you the options, but you need to work for it yourself. You can't just sit back and expect everything to come to you and everything to be served to you on a platter, because that's not how the world works, and that's not how anywhere works. And although I still have a full-time job here at 23, I still like to get out and do broadcasts with IMS. Even this past summer and spring, spending time doing games for Aurora Borealis, because it's still good, even though I'm doing this job in the studio, I'm stuck in the studio, I don't really still get those opportunities to go out and call soccer games, call whatever games, and still, even just, helping out current students that are there, they like to hear the advice from me, so I always like to still get out and do stuff like that. My name is Mike Buda. I'm the weekend sports anchor at Channel 23 News in Rockford, and I am IMS.
I decided to go to the Illinois Media School because I realized after I finished college the first time that I really wanted to work in media, and this was the best option for someone who had a job and was busy but still wanted to get the career that they were looking for. One of my favorite things about going to the Illinois Media School was the fact that you had to and got to do everything. It wasn't like a classroom where, oh, well, this person gets to use the camera, this person gets to use the radio, and then everyone else just watches. In fact, everyone did everything together, and it definitely showed what you could do and what you needed help on. It wasn't a guessing game, everything was just there. There are so many different people inside one school at the Illinois Media School. You have people who want to be on camera or behind the mic, and then people who want to work in production, and it's awesome to work together as a team to produce a radio show and a TV cast. And it doesn't matter how old you are, who you are, everybody is at the school. I'm Michelle Abraham. I'm an on-air personality at 97 ZOK, and I am IMS.
I went to the Illinois Media School because I wanted a job in broadcasting. It was always my dream. I would see, radio stations out at different events or different concerts, and I'd say, man, how do you get that job? And the Illinois Media School made that possible. What I enjoyed most about my time at IMS was the fact that I was taught by industry professionals. I knew if I had any question, those pros would know exactly how to answer it. I would describe the students at IMS as people who are dedicated, people who want the same things that I want, whether it be television, broadcasting, on the web, and everything in between. We're all one cohesive group who all have the same goal, and that's what really, really helps make your dreams come true. I'm Lori Williams. I am the midday on-air host for WKGL FM 96.7 The Eagle, and I am IMS.
How did I get started at IMS? Well, I was driving through the Chicagoland area and I heard a commercial from Matt Abaticola on the Score, and I said, hey, I could probably do this sports thing. Signed up, got into the school, found out really quickly that no, I can't do the sports thing. But luckily, I found out I'm really into music and I know how to talk on the air about it. So I switched my focus over to music, and lo and behold, I graduated a little bit later after that. I got a job at Star 105.5 in the McHenry County area. Shortly after there, I got a job up here in Appleton, Oshkosh, Green Bay, Wisconsin, where I'm currently the afternoon host and the assistant program director for 2 country radio stations. What do I think about my time at IMS? I learned so much, and here's what I learned, is that it's not just what you can do on the air, it's about working with other people. I had a great class of fellow broadcasters that I learned a lot from, who we shared with one another, bounced ideas off of one another. We collaborated really well. And some of them went on to do weather in Colorado, then a few of them work in Rockford, some work in sports full-time. It's been an amazing experience going to IMS. My name is Joseph Pitt. I'm the assistant program director for Nash FM 99.5 and Nash FM 104.9. I am a graduate of the Lombard campus, and I am IMS.
I got started at IMS through a good friend of mine and a colleague at 670 The Score, Rick Camp, who knew I was an instructor at other universities and knew I was looking to get into a place with passionate students who know what they want to do. They know this is what they want to do for a living, and I have absolutely found that in my time here at IMS. The students are driven, they're passionate about broadcasting, radio, TV, internet, every asset of broadcasting they are completely passionate about, and it's very refreshing for me, having come from a university where students are obsessed with their general eds and other things that distract them from their major. These students here are here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to break into the broadcasting business, and it's some of the best and brightest young talent I've seen in my 16 years in the industry. My name is Jay Zawatsky. I'm an executive producer for 670 The Score. I'm an instructor here at IMS, and I am IMS.
I came to Illinois Media School because I want to give back to the current students. It's something that really means a lot to me as an instructor, as a mentor, because I've been in this business for over 20 years, so it meant a lot to me to be able to come back and just teach some of the tricks of the trade to the students here at Illinois Media School. I've enjoyed my time tremendously here because I'm able to speak one-on-one with the students, having that personal touch, telling them about some of the pitfalls of the business, some of the positives of the business as well. I think that after 20 years of doing this, it means a lot that I can be able to lend my expertise and talk about some of the things I had to go through, so that way they're not frustrated, so they feel like, hey, you know what, someone's listening to my problems. So I definitely want to do that. I love the students here at Illinois Media School, and the reason why is because you can see the desire in their eyes. You can tell that they really want to take it to the next level. I admire what they're doing because in this particular era of broadcasting, they have so many things they could do. It could be radio, it could be television, it could be web design. They could do so many different things. So I'm so happy that they had the opportunity to do it because I didn't have an Illinois Media School when I was coming up. I had to go to a 2 or 4 year college to try to get a career started in the business. But Illinois Media School is so terrific that students can be able to get it done in 1 year. Job placement assistance, the financial aid for those who qualify is just terrific. I'm Jonathan Hood from SiriusXM NBA Radio and ESPN Radio from the Illinois Media School campus in Lombard, and I am IMS.
Welcome back to I Want Football 365, covering pro football around the world. Next up, we're going to do Tricky Kanicki Players of the Week.
Yes, and we're going to start off with Jake Medlock of the Wichita Force, as he had 10 touchdowns total combined in that game, 7 passing and 3 rushing TDs. He just basically put the team on his back and did what needed to be done to make sure that they got a victory.
Whenever you do 10 touchdowns in 1 week,
it needs to be recognized.
Right.
And again, he had 261 yards in passing, and just put that into perspective. Although it doesn't sound like a big number, but the field's only 50 yards.
Right.
So
it's a very small. It's hard to get in those tight spaces. It is a small field. There's a lot of bodies on that small field. It's a way to go. Only 1 interception, which again, with all those bodies on that field, 10-to-1 ratio. People will take that ratio any day of the week.
Absolutely, and Jake is going to show the Storm, I think, a run for their money. I think the Force will be a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, we have Travis Partridge in the IFL. He had Iowa Barnstormers, 5 rushing touchdowns, 106 passing yards, game-winning drive. He was just a force all game long.
He clocked in. He punched his card in this week, and he did what he had to do to make sure that the Iowa Barnstormers got the W.
Again, and he also brought his book of cliches. Just had that along.
There we go.
Him.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here with those today.
That's perfect.
But yeah, 5 rushing TDs. That's something else you don't see too often in the indoor football league or any of the arena indoor football leagues at all, especially coming out of a quarterback. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's hard to get guys away from you for long enough because that pocket's not there for very long. You only have 3 blockers. So congratulations, Travis. And then in the National Arena League, we have Darius Prince, Lehigh Valley Steelhawks.
Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, when it's going to be them in Jacksonville.
Yep.
They're going to be competing for it all. And every week the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks show that they should be mentioned with the Jacksonville Sharks. Mm-hmm. And Darius Prince seems to show that every week.
So just mark it down, Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, and you'll notice as we go through, they'll be named a few times.
Yep.
And then the Arena Football League, Tampa Bay. Randy Hippert, he had a great game. Led them to a win, 285 yards, no interceptions. Again, small field, 285 yards, no picks. You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's 3-1 on the year.
Right.
They're going to be in the mix for it all. Still, ultimately, the cream of the crop is Philadelphia Soul. But you'll see that the Tampa Bay Storm, they could be in the mix when it's all said and done.
Oh, without a doubt. I do believe it has to be the Soul versus the Storm. So great job. 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a good day at the office.
8 touchdowns. That's remarkable.
All right, now we are going to the defense. This is 2 weeks ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting with the Champions Indoor Football League again. A linebacker, Ricky Wyatt.
Yeah, Ricky Bomani Wyatt, Dodge City Law. The Law, again, they're one of the more powerful teams in the Champions Indoor Football League. He had 2 sacks, 13 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and blocked a field goal. Those are some of the things that you can't ask much more from a defensive player.
I don't think you can ask this much.
Right, exactly. The 5 tackles for a loss is tremendous in the indoor football league. When your defense can play a catalyst in the indoor football league, they expect offense to do what their thing is, for sure. They're going to run up their points. They're going to do what they got to do. But if you can make that stop, that one stop, it changes the entire game.
Well, especially when you block a field goal.
Right.
Because that could be a 10-point swing.
Exactly. And so, congratulations, Ricky. It looks like you had a great day at the office.
I love the picture for him. It's just him crushing the quarterback. You can't see his face at all.
Yeah, that is a good picture.
All right, so then we're moving to the Indoor Football League. Tyler Knight.
Tyler Knight of the Sioux Falls Storm. Again, we talk about these teams that are constantly in our conversation. They've won 10 championships, and they are basically, they set the bar for the Indoor Football League. It's hard to bet against them every week.
I saw the game, and he was everywhere. The offense was doing well. It's a tough team.
And plus, again, here we go for interception for a TD, completely changing the game.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move it on to the National Arena League and take which teams they're from.
Jacksonville Sharks.
What a shocker. So David Highland, congratulations.
Defensive back again. We're seeing these guys that are on defense. We constantly talk about offense when it comes to the indoor and arena leagues, but when the defense can make a difference, that sets you apart from everybody else in the league.
Yeah, a good DB can shut down half the field.
Right.
In Arena Football League, that's a lot of real estate, as anywhere else is, but there's not much room left for you.
No. And, of course, Jacksonville, you'll hear them mentioned multiple times throughout this segment as well.
So in the Arena Football League, Tampa Bay, once they took both awards last week. Paul Stevens, again, a defensive back, he got the award. Congratulations. 6.5 tackles, knocked down a pass, caused 2 fumbles. So another good day at the office. Can't stop saying that. my time to say good day at the office and slap myself every time we're finished. All right, and let's go with special teams. Indoor Football League, Tyrell Pearson.
The Blizzard. Every time I think that they're out of it, they prove to me that they're a possibility to be in it. And Tyrell Pearson is one of those guys. He returned a kick for a TD, which, again, you could do that in the indoor game. It definitely swings everything.
Huge. 145 kick return yards.
And he had 3 tackles. When did he have time to do that?
Just put the ball down and jumped off for a little bit.
He fumbled it, tackled him, and got it back and ran it some more. But that's not really what happened, but it sounds good.
We'll stick with that story. All right, and then the National Arena League, Brandon Renford of guess which team?
Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, once again. Can't stop him. Can't stop him. He's a kick returner and a wide receiver. He changes the entire length of the field. And on top of it, he's got some of the best hands in the game.
Well, he's just so agile, too. He can just get around those guys sometimes. I just can't believe it. So we're going to move up to this previous week. And I kind of like this one. We're going to start off National Arena League because it's a fullback getting the award.
Very rare do you hear about fullbacks getting the award for Offensive Player of the Week. Ondra Hendricks, he's been all over the place. Mm-hmm. He's played in the CFL. He's played for the Jacksonville Sharks. He's been around. And so it's nice to see him get recognized for what he does. Fullbacks usually are the unsung heroes of the Indoor Football League, as typically they are another offensive lineman and are set for blocking.
So when a guy from a non-usual award position gets an award, you know he had a great game.
Exactly.
And then that's a great name, Ondra Hendricks.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to the Champions Indoor Football with Clinton Solomon.
Clinton Solomon, Texas Revolution. Again, one of my favorite teams to watch this year. They've been explosive, and he is one of the reasons why. 5 receptions, 86 yards, 4 touchdowns. And you know who's throwing him the ball? Chris Dixon.
Not too bad to have that.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And again, I think you will, when it's all said and done, you will see the Texas Revolution in the end competing for a championship.
All right, so we're going to move over to the Indoor Football League with Trey Parmalee. 4 touchdowns, 69 receiving yards, 6 receptions. Very consistent.
This is remarkable considering this team has only won like 1 or 2 games this year.
That is pretty impressive.
They were a much better team last year, and so you must have had a good game in order to be recognized on a team that's barely winning this year. And it's unfortunate. The Cedar Rapids Titans have a great fan base and a great organization to work with. Last year we had a great time watching them as they had Brett Favre's nephew behind the helm. And it was an exciting year for them. But he's not there this year, and it's showing.
Let's go with the AFL. Again, Tampa Bay Storm. This is 3 for 3 for them.
Joe Hills. This guy just doesn't quit.
I think we talked about every episode so far. All 3, so quite a library we have already.
No, for sure. And Joe Hills is just one of those guys that you could just count on him week in and week out to do what he does.
You got the game winner late in the 4th quarter. That's almost kind of expected, though. I'm not too shocked by that.
No, 42nd time that he's caught 3 or more touchdowns in a game. That's just remarkable.
42nd time.
Yeah. Nice stat to keep track of.
All right, Defensive Player of the Week for this past week. We're going to start as a linebacker, the National Arena League, Tim Hume.
Tim Hume. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Lehigh Valley Steelhawks.
Oh, that team. I think I've heard of them.
Very big fan of their field, by the way. They got a black and yellow field. Very cool.
Does look good.
Yes. Hard to play. It might be a home field advantage thing right there.
Does look at the field too much or mesmerized by the beauty?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Kind of like the Boise State.
Oh, yeah, the two blue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're going to the Champions Indoor Football with Ben Pister, defensive lineman for the Kansas City Phantom.
I just like the name of this team, Kansas City Phantoms. I wonder, well, I don't know, but that's just an amazing name. And he had 4 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 21 yards for losses, and 2 sacks
Well, that's
for a loss of
2
18
first downs
yards.
right there.
Yep. And well-deserving of Defensive Player of the Week. And the Phantoms, of course, you know, they've been a middle-of-the-road team. But they've been every game they're giving it to you, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to, you know, overcome what they're doing every week.
If you're not prepared, any of these teams they'll trip you up.
Oh, it's true.
So the Storm found that out. Sioux Falls Storm.
Yeah, I feel like that we're on repeat here and just mentioning the same teams over and over again, but at least they're highlighting different players. We do have, again, Khalif Mitchell, the Week 13 Defensive Player of the Week, Sioux Falls Storms, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 3 for a loss. What more can you say?
Again, 3 tackles for a loss. I mean, that's a whole drive. And all you have to do is stop these teams a few times in the Indoor Football League, and you'll give yourself a fighting chance. So you get 3 tackles for a loss. That could be 3 separate drives you ended. I didn't watch this game, unfortunately, but great performance. And the AFL, we are back to the Philadelphia Soul. It's been so long since we talked about them.
Yeah, it's quite surprising.
This is Sean Daniels. They beat a Balfour Brigade 61-56. He made play the game, scooped up a fumble, and ran it in. Game-winning touchdown, 33 seconds left. So if you're going to win 33 seconds left, I can see why the AFL appointed you as Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. You don't hear that very often as a game being decided by a defensive lineman picking up a fumble and running it in for a touchdown. Congratulations.
But the Philadelphia Soul on the offense actually had a streak snapped. 38 consecutive quarters with scoring something was finally snapped. That's over a season.
Someone better get Jaws on the line, get that fixed.
Let's see if you can explain what's going on with this team. All right, special teams, and we are going to the NAL, which means it's either Lehigh Valley Steelhawks or it is the
Jacksonville Sharks.
And this week, it is Nick Belcher of the Jacksonville Sharks.
It's pretty remarkable that when you had a good game as a kicker, when you're being recognized as a special teams player of the week. Kickers are definitely unsung heroes when it comes to the Indoor and Arena League. Most people don't even realize that the field goal posts are so much shorter, and it's much more condensed space to get that in there.
And then we've got from the Champions Indoor Football, Dallas Herndon.
Another kicker from the Kansas City Phantoms. We're starting to hear more about them. 4 for 4 for extra points, 2 field goals for 35 yards is pretty impressive in indoor.
With how narrow those field posts are, it really is. Granted, there's no wind, but you're going to a pretty small area.
Well, the only wind is happening is probably from the people yelling and screaming at you.
Well, those Phantoms, those F-16s or F-22s, all that wind turbulence. And again, we got another kicker because usually it's guys returning the football back.
Correct. And usually you get your wide receivers who are kick returners as well.
Right, pad the stats a little bit.
Exactly, but now we got this is the week of the kicker.
Yeah, Indoor Football League, Sawyer Petre. Hope I'm saying that right. Apologize if I butchered that one.
Close enough. Arizona Rattlers, they're another one of the cream of the crop. They moved into this is their first year in the Indoor Football League, and they're trying to show everyone that they belong.
Well, they definitely belong. 5 extra points, 2 field goals. So he did his job. 11 points in these games. Big. All right, so I think we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with some rapid-fire talk.
Because I really had nothing going on for me. I didn't have a job. I wasn't in school, and I was just getting out of my other school. I knew I wanted to go into broadcasting, but I didn't want to spend too much time in college. I'd already spent about 4 years, and I was like, I really don't have that much time to just play around anymore. So I really wanted to get into the business, and I had a friend, and he went to the school, graduated, and I saw he was already in the business, and everything was happening so quickly, and I went to him, I was like, hey, how did you get started? And he said, at the time, Illinois Center for Broadcasting, and I was like, all right. So I looked into it, went on a tour, and it changed my life. It really did. From the start, literally the first step I took into the place, you felt the energy in there, and so many positive vibes coming from everywhere, and that's just the first time you step into it. And then you get started into it, and you're learning from industry professionals, you're learning from some of the best to ever do it, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here in front of people that I grew up watching, and just going through that process, man, that whole year was the time of my life. I was super duper busy, but it was so much fun. Got an internship right away, was actually in a real radio station, and I saw my dreams coming true right before my eyes. And what's awesome is that I love the school so much, I couldn't leave. Graduated, and I'm still there now. I'm working with The Edge, theedgeonair.com at the Lombard campus. I am the assistant program assistant there, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun watching these new students come in, watching the students learn, and then they're looking up to me because I'm here working at a real radio station, knowing what goes into a radio show, and their eyes and their passion, it reminds me a lot of when I was at the school and the passion that I had, and they're working hard every single day, and it just drives me, and I love seeing that, and I love giving back. And if I'm just able to be that person for them to go to just for advice or whatever they need, I'd love to be that person, and it's an absolute honor that I'm able to hold that position for them to give them somebody to go to. I am George Norwood. I am the promotions assistant for 103.9 The Fox. I am the overnight host for Star 105.5, and I am also the assistant program director for theedgeonair.com at the Lombard campus, and I am IMS.
I got started at IMS here as an instructor a couple years back after I'd heard a couple of people I worked with were also instructors here, and after being in the industry of radio and sports phone and TV and play-by-play for as long as I have been, I figured that it would be a good thing to come on out. I had some free time, come on out and help out some of the people that want to be the next people involved in these kind of things, next people that hit the radio airwaves and also do play-by-play. So I thought it was a great idea and a great place to do it at. When I'm here, it's great because there's always somebody that has either heard me, has wanted to meet me, and once they meet me, I explain to them, okay, it wasn't that big a deal. But if I'm always here if you need help with developing what you're passionate about, and that's what most people come here for. They have a passion. They want to do something. They want to do radio play-by-play. They want to do sports talk. They want to do updates, whatever it may be. I love being here and helping them become better at what they're trying to work at. And it's great because the one thing about the students is they're really good at listening to criticisms. Once you get into the business, it's difficult because people all think that, okay, I've made it. But here at the school, everybody wants to get better. And that's one of the better things, and one of the things I really enjoy about it is they'll come and they'll say, how can I make this better? And I always tell them I'm going to be super critical of everything I tell them because that's the only way they're going to get better. And it's great because every student I've talked to enjoys that because they all want to get better. And that's one of the things I love about it. My name is Fred Hubner. I work at ESPN 1000 as a host and sports anchor. I am an instructor here at the Lombard campus of the Illinois Media School, and I am IMS.
I heard about IMS actually through an ad on my Facebook page during the time I had a picture of myself with headphones and a mic on because I did college radio. And usually I don't fall for the spam tricks, but that day I felt like being gullible. And so I clicked on it, and there it was, the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, which was what it was at the time. I saw a video featuring T-Lo giving a tour of the school, and I was hooked right then and there. Called them, did a tour the following week. And then it was history there. I was a productive student, knew exactly what I wanted to do, did multiple internships, and after I graduated, I experienced the hardships that most students will probably feel, but
I didn't give up. And I looked up into a freelance gig with High School Cube, which transitioned over to working for Radio Disney, and several other jobs after that, which leads me now to Alpha Media, where I am a top utility player for WXLC. I would describe the students as hungry and ambitious. My class in particular, all of us placed after graduating, or at least a good 85% of us. And I can say that about 4 of them were co-workers with me back in my time during Rockford. So, the program is effective. You just got to know what it is that you want to do and give 100% towards it. And also be open to other things, because, that dream job you may want is not going to come as fast as you think. My name is Everett O'Neill. I am an on-air personality and assistant production director for WXLC. I am a Lombard graduate, and I am IMS.
How did I hear about IMS? Well, it was about 16 years ago, and I was doing college radio just for fun. Had no purpose whatsoever until a buddy of mine, Dave Durov, who's signed up for classes that same time I was there, told me about IMS, and I signed up. And before you know it, I was going to school, learning about radio, learning about TV, and I realized, hey, I can actually do this for a living. So 9 months later, I graduated. What do I think about my time at IMS? It was a lot of fun. I mean, there was learning involved, but it was good learning. I didn't feel like I was going to school. I felt like I was having a good time. The classmates were great. We had a good time in group projects. We had a great time doing our solo projects. So I felt like it was very important for me to get that before I did radio professionally. How would I describe students at IMS? Dedicated. Dedicated students for sure. IMS knows how to put the right kind of pressure on students to get things done, and I feel that the students there, knowing that if they want a career, they got to work hard. They got to do what you got to do what you got to do. And IMS really nails it that way. They do a good job of enforcing that and making sure it's also fun while you're doing it. Hi, my name is Edgar Ibarra. I'm the program director for Nash FM 104.9 and Nash FM 99.5 in Northeast Wisconsin. I'm a graduate of the IMS Lombard campus, and I am IMS.
Welcome back to I Want Football 365. Again, I'm Michael Heim with Mark Kanicki. And Mark, let's talk about the WFA for a little bit.
The Women's Football Alliance, we're going to just actually jump right into our hometown team, the Chicago Force. They dismantled the Toledo Rain this past weekend, 52-0. And huge shout-outs got to go to Jules Harshbarger as she hit 7 PATs, and she hit she set a record for the longest field goal in Force history with a 43-yard field goal.
Well, good job. That's pretty impressive. And 53-0?
52-0.
52. Well, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right
Anymore.
Well, yeah, you get it right. So, another thing that's impressive and why I like to mention Jules Harshbarger, she's one of the first women ever to actually play in a men's league and score.
That's right.
So she's played for the hometown Chicago Eagles. She played for the Chicago Blitz at one time and the Chicago Cardinals.
Yeah, so she's been around football for all of her adult life, pretty much.
And I'm pretty sure this is the first time she's played on an all-women's football team.
That she's doing pretty well at it.
Yes.
The whole team is great. You said it so many times that the Fords are probably the best team.
Oh, they are. And this weekend we'll find out for sure as they're playing the number 1 ranked Boston Renegades. And this is for all the marbles. If they win this game, they get to have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, right up to the championship game. So this is a big game for them. They're playing at Evanston this weekend, and I'm rooting for the Force. I think they can do it. Boston's a tough team, but they're coming here, and they've got to face the Force, and they are stacked this year.
And also the Forces went to Washington, D.C. to play the Divas, and they were the defending champions, and the Force really handed it, or it was a close game, but they did come out in the end.
Yep.
So I'm feeling good about this game.
Well, they've shown they could dominate the teams that they're supposed to dominate, and the teams that they're not, that you're not sure if they're going to, be able to beat. They hang with them,
right.
And they've had a perfect record this year.
All right. Well, let's talk about the other football team.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Chicago Bliss real quick, as there's a game coming up on June 3rd. It's going to be at Toyota Park, and that should be potentially one of the first times ever that we're getting press passes to go to a game. I've already invited some of the staff. Some of them said they can't go. Peter, we will find out if you'd like to come with us. I got a thumbs up on that one. And so, yeah, we're Ryan's thumbs down. But, yeah, it's going to be a good night. We're thinking about doing a show at a comedy club earlier in the day and then going right over to Toyota Park and watch the Chicago Bliss do their thing and basically look to get their 4th championship.
Yeah, I love watching the Force play. I love watching the Bliss play. So it's great football all the way around.
It's going to be an exciting one.
Let's go the indoor leagues. How about the National Arena League?
I mean, you're looking at some games coming up. We've got Georgia Firebirds versus the Corpus Christi Rage, and that game was canceled. Sorry, I thought that was actually already happening, but it's not. It's not happening anymore. The NAL took over the Rage, and they played their 3rd game of the season when their owner was abandoned the team. So that's interesting news for the NAL.
Well, next week we've got the Dayton Wolfpack, as we're talking about, going to Columbus to play the Lions. So I still want the Wolfpack to win it all. I know it's not going to happen, but...
Not going to happen. But I will say this much, that'll be a good game.
Yep. And then Monterey Steel, Jacksonville Sharks. Sharks will probably take that one handedly.
Yeah, they're going to smoke them.
And the Steelhawks at the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies will put up a fight, but Steelhawks will win that game.
Well, we got another... if we talk about the MSFL a little bit. We had a combine here at Light Zone 360 a little while ago.
Yeah, where we're currently at. Our host today, our wood-fired Bricks Ovens Pizza, which is located inside of Life Zone 360, where the Chicago Chaos had their combine earlier this year. And it was an exciting event. It was very professionally run. We have a new head coach that's with us this year, and we're excited to have him on board. Coach Kyle is great. And he had an opportunity to evaluate a lot of talent that was here. And I dare say, after being with the team, this is my 4th year, that this is probably the best collective group of players I've ever seen the Chaos put together.
Yeah, I saw them at the combine. I've seen them practice then, so they look good.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are bigger, faster, and hungrier than they've ever been before. You know, we've been to 5 championships in a row, and we've won 4 of them. And, you know, they got a 69-11 record over the past 6 years, and that's for a reason.
And I think we got some words from the coach lined up.
Yes, I think we do. There was an interview done that day, and we're looking to tee that up right now so you can hear a little bit more about the Chaos season coming up.
Well, we'll get that in just a minute. We want to talk about the nice running attack from the Sioux Falls Storm. So the top 5 rushers, they're all about 500 yards, but the Sioux Falls Storm have 2 of the top 5. That's pretty impressive. Robbie Rouse, 504 yards, sitting in 4th. Lorenzo Brown.
At number 2, and a quarterback.
Not a running back? Well, yeah, he's number 2 in the league as a quarterback.
That's remarkable.
3 of the 5 are quarterbacks, but number 1 you expect to be running back, and it is, but...
Daryl Monroe, 542 yards for the Arizona Rattlers. He's doing it this year.
All right, and this is the combine we're talking about at Light Zone 360. So it took a couple hours. You guys went really in depth.
Oh yeah, they were here for some hours. You know, making sure they get all the tape recorded accordingly, so they see what these guys are able to do. You know, you got to check them out. You know, and also make sure that the character is there too. Talent's one thing; is the character going to follow? And if it does, that's a win. You know, it's a winning combination.
The one thing I've learned is that a lot of the basic setups are very similar for all the different kind of events. Well, let's hear the coach now talk, actually, if that's
Absolutely.
all right.
All right, we're back with Kyle Weidman, head coach of the Chicago Chaos. Tryouts just finished, Kyle, and first impressions of the tryout.
Wow, a lot of information we were able to gather today. A lot of competition today. Players came out, they worked hard. We got a chance to see what they can do offensively, defensively, combine, skill sets, and so that was important to me. And the biggest thing I take from it is the competition that was generated on the field this evening, and that was refreshing.
Saw a lot of people going head-to-head, some tempers flared every once in a while. Was that something you guys were looking for, or just a byproduct?
Yeah, absolutely. Football is a passionate sport, and if you're not, passionate or you don't care about the sport, then you don't need to be playing it. And so we got guys out here who care and who take it very seriously, and that's what breeds good competition, And when you compete, that breeds success, and that's what we're looking for. And that's exactly what we got today. We had some guys going at it a little bit, but they still understand the concept of teamwork, and so we want them to push each other. That's exactly the kind of culture we're trying to develop here.
Now, I know you invited, at the end of practice, you invited everyone back to the next practice for the Chaos. What was your reasoning behind that?
Well, I mean, we had some guys that we saw on the field. Everyone came out that competed, and we felt that we need to have them back next week and start building our team. We may have guys that come later in the season, and we'll welcome them if they come. But right now, this is our team, and so we're going to take the guys we have, and we're going to make the best of it, and we're going to do the best that we can do with what we have.
Coach Kyle Weidman. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach Kyle, for that great interview. We appreciate it. And just to give you a little heads up, he already led the Chaos to their first victory of the preseason, beating the Blue Devils 48-6 that day, and got an opportunity to see how his coaching style will reflect on the field and how the players responded to him. It was wonderful. And our player of the week was Nick White. And every week we name a Chicago Chaos player of the week. We don't have the image up, but we give a belt out to each player, so maybe you can see it as I hold this up here. But he deserves it, and you get to hold on to that belt until the next player of the week is mentioned. So it's a pretty sweet deal. The players appreciate it. They like getting recognized, and who wouldn't?
And it's a great belt, too.
Yeah, it is awesome. And so, moving along, the Chaos have an exciting year ahead of us. We do have our quarterback coming back for a second year, Michael Anthony Shuchuk, who you met over the weekend and actually got a chance to talk to him at the Winnipeg Blue Bomber Combine.
Right, and on the combines really do have a similar flow. They check to see your 40 time, the broad jumps, the basic physical essentials. Then like this, they break them down into position groups, so you can do individual testing. It's the same thing I had in high school, same thing I had in 8th grade. They try out for the teams. It's just much different stakes.
Right. And the stakes are higher.
They're slightly better athletes than I was in 8th grade.
That's true.
I will admit that.
No, it's remarkable. And, again, the scouting this year has taken it to a new level. I do like to say that, not only do the Chaos have a winning pedigree over the years, but bringing on the Illinois Media School and being able to broadcast our games has made a huge difference.
Well, I think broadcasting is a big difference for all the leagues because Brian Hendricks with the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg was talking about there's a lot more knowledge about the league. So when people went to their combine, they knew the 3 down and out rules, the 1 yard out the line of scrimmage for the defensive players. So they're comfortable with all the coverage that's come down over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be an exciting one. The Chaos have some players, and I'm looking forward as the season goes on that we'll have an opportunity to show who is moving on and doing what. And how, is Shuchuk going to lead us to another championship or due for another ring? I'm looking forward to one.
Well, Shuchuk's definitely, he's ready for it too. He's been preparing for a very long time and really prepares top of his game. He is focused on football.
Yep, focused on football is the key ingredient for that guy. He is definitely focused. So, yeah, we'd like to move next into that actual interview from the day of the Combine where they got a chance to talk to Michael Anthony Shuchuk about the 2017 upcoming season.
I'm here with Michael Shuchuk, quarterback of the Chicago Chaos. And, Michael, we're here at the tryouts for the team so far today. What are you expecting to come out of the event?
Find some good talent. We're obviously moving into a new league here, MSFL. It's a very competitive league. Mindset to come in and just, be committed to the cause, I guess, to what we're trying to do. So, last year there was some disorganization, maybe is the best way of putting it. He's got everyone really focused, which I really like.
You guys fell to the Tri-City Ducks in the championship game this last year. They're moving with you guys to the MSFL. You kind of looking forward to the next rematch with them at all?
Well, definitely. Definitely. It was a great game. I know a lot of those guys just from prior camps and stuff. I actually feel like I've actually played against some of those guys in high school even too. So really good organization. But I'm really looking forward to definitely seeing them on the field again.
Season starts in May, so from now, end of February, till that time, beyond practice, what's kind of your personal prep before the season starts?
Just make sure that I'm getting, kind of my arm feeling conditioned again. Taking care of myself in the gym, obviously. I do commit myself kind of outside of football practice, very much so, to being healthy and stuff like that. So my mindset is just, get back in the swing of things and keep moving forward.
I'm here with Michael Shuchuk, quarterback for your Chicago Chaos. We're here at the Life Zone 360 Center in West Dundee. What's been your first impression so far of the facilities?
Oh, this is great. I think everyone's kind of excited just from initially walking in here. I think everyone's ready to go. It reminds me of high school when I was doing all these combines and stuff. So it's good to feel like a kid again almost.
And then I just want to know one more thing. Going into this 2017 season, what's the one thing you're personally working on in your game?
I guess one of the, kind of assuming that leadership role on the team, coming in last season, being a quarterback for a team that I really didn't know much about. It's obviously something that everyone's got to work on, but really kind of, taking care of that leadership role and having people look at me as the guy that's going to help win games.
Michael Shukchuk, your upcoming leader, quarterback for your Chicago Chaos. Michael, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for taking the time to talk to us. Do appreciate it.
That was a great interview. And, now let's move along to these upcoming picks for this upcoming week. We got a lot of games coming up and a lot of games to go through. Let's see how good and bad we are at picking these games.
All right, we will have our intern give running results from now on. So
yes,
we'll see if I can beat Mark. I'm feeling good. I'm better at this. All right, we'll start with the Arena Football League. The first game is Cleveland at Philly.
Cleveland at Philly. You know what's going to happen.
If Philly's hosting home, like I said, they had scored 38 consecutive quarters before this previous game. So
it's got to be Philly. Cleveland's a good team, but Philly's much, way more superior.
Yeah, Gladiators are good. They're not the soul. All right. So we both have Philly. Washington at Tampa Bay.
I got to go with the Storm.
I'm going to go with the home team, too. I think Tampa Bay and Philly are the two top teams in the league.
Yeah, Washington Valor, it's their first year in the league. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Tampa Bay Storm.
All right. So next we have the Indoor Football League, the IFL. We're going to start with the Spokane Empire at the Colorado Crush.
Colorado just hasn't shown it this year. They're not going to be able. Even though they're at home, they're not going to make it work. Spokane Empire will take that game.
Well, that's I like that call. I'll go Spokane also. Well, we're not doing very good at picking different picks. We don't understand how this works yet with competition. The Cedar Rapids Titans at the Sioux Falls Storm.
This is terrible because you know who's going to win.
Well, yeah, I want to go against you.
You can't.
I can't go against you this time.
You have to be logical about this. The Storm are going to roll over the Titans like they're not even there.
All right, Iowa Barnstormers at the Wichita Falls Nighthawks.
Now, this is going to be a good game. This is probably the most. If there's one game to watch this weekend from the IFL, the Barnstormers versus the Nighthawks will be a good game, and I'm going with the Wichita Nighthawks.
I'm going Barnstormers.
All right, so now we got our first competition here. Nighthawks will win. Sorry, Michael.
All right, and we got the Green Bay Blizzard visiting the Nebraska Danger.
I will go against anything Green Bay. The Nebraska Danger will win.
As a totally non-biased fan, I will go with Green Bay Blizzard.
Very good. I like this. Now we're heading in the right direction.
I think we're going to go back on the common thread, though, unfortunately. We have the Arizona Rattlers hosting the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles.
All the Rattlers.
Yeah.
They're going to cut it. They're going to make that game happen. There's nothing. Well, the Screaming Eagles have been good lately. They might surprise us, but I still got to go with the Rattlers.
The Rattlers seem to come prepared every week, so I'm not too worried about a trap game. As now that I said that, watch it be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on to the CIF, Champions Indoor Football. We're starting out the Duke City Gladiators at Texas Revolution.
Texas Revolution is going to take it. Chris Dixon's going to show them, probably light them up.
I hate to go against Dixon, but I'm going to go with the Gladiators.
Here we go.
All right, the Emerald Venom at Centex Cavalry.
Venom all day, fangs up.
Yeah, Cavalry plays hard, but they don't have the same roster as Venom does. Then we got Selena Liberty at Bloomington Edge.
Bloomington Edge. They've been real strong this year. Coach Amir Ishmael has taken that team to another level. I'm real proud of him and happy for him. He was a defensive coach for the Spokane Empire last year, and prior to that, he actually played in the IFL when the Chicago Slaughter had a team here.
I think I'll go agree with you. All right, we got Wichita Force at the Dallas Marshals.
Got to go with the Force. The Force are going to win that game. The Marshals just don't have what it takes to stay in the same arena with them.
Just because you say they don't have to take the same arena, I'll go with the Marshals. All right, the Western Michigan Ironmen at the Omaha Beef.
It's going to be a tough game. I'm biased because Anthony Ionati plays for the Omaha Beef, and he's a former Chicago Chaos player, helped us win about 3 rings. Very happy about that. And so I got to go with the Beef. The Beef are going to win that game against the Ironmen, but they're going to give them a tough game.
I had to love the Ironmen because they took out the Storm, Sioux Falls Storm. So
they did. They did.
I got some love in my heart for them. So West Michigan Ironmen, I got you.
All right, there you go.
Bismarck Bucks at Sioux City Bandits.
Bismarck is new. The Bandits are killing it this year. The Sioux City Bandits are going to do it. They're going to win.
Yep, Sioux City. All right, the National Arena League. Dayton Wolfpack at the Columbus Lions.
Columbus Lions.
Yeah, sorry, Dave.
As much as I want the Wolfpack to do it, they're not going to do it. I root for them every week, but I can't pick them when I know they're going to lose.
Yes, the Denver/Atlanta pack first doom. All right, the Monterey Steel at Jacksonville Sharks. I'm a big Monterey Steel fan, but I can't say they're going to walk into Jacksonville and do.
No, Jacksonville's going to stay undefeated.
Yes. And then another one we'll probably agree on, Lehigh Valley Seahawks visit the High Country Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies are a good team. They're going to put up a good fight, but it's going to be the Steelhawks. They're going to take it, and they're going to win.
Yeah, High Country 3-3. It's not like they're a bad team, but
No.
Lehigh is just so good that I can't really see it happening. Everything's going to happen. That's why I love so many games, because we get, 12 games we've talked about, 12 games a week, up to 20 a week. We're wrong a lot. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, people don't understand there's so much good football being played out there, and we're hoping to enlighten you and to show you that you can, this weekend, you don't have to wait for the NFL or even the CFL for that matter. There is plenty of games going on. You can find them all over YouTube, etc.
Yeah, and CFL minicamps start next week.
They do.
NFL minicamps start right around the corner.
It's an exciting time. For me, the CFL is older than the NFL,
Right.
and they have a rich history of great football out there. And I'm looking forward as weeks go on here that we could talk a lot more about the CFL.
Well, I believe that does it all for tonight. I would thank everybody for tuning in and listening. I'm Michael Hine from Mark Rudnicki. Thank you for watching I Want Football 365.
See you next time.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Bright Star Care. When your child, parent, or loved one needs a little care in their home or other setting, turn to Bright Star Care of Chicago and LaGrange. They provide personalized premium care to pediatric to geriatric clients in any setting with their non-medical services and skilled nursing services based on individual needs. Bright Star Care does all of this by providing a higher standard of care delivered by care experts, which has earned them the Joint Commission accreditation and high client satisfaction scores. Their commitment to quality professional care with RN oversight on all home care cases and the 24/7 team availability to respond to any service needs to truly make them a premium organization. Call Bright Star Care of Chicago and LaGrange to further discuss their services for all ages that will meet your individual needs. You can find them at brightstarcare.com, or the phone number for the Chicago office is 312-382-8888, and in LaGrange and surrounding suburbs, you can call 708-551-2500. All right, it's also brought to you by Red Zone 365. Well, I Want Football 365.com. Also brought to you by Party Guard, PartyGuardChicago.com. Also brought to you in parts to Adopt a Husky Incorporated, AdoptAHusky.com. Also, Work Up Fitness. And the Chicago Chaos 2017 schedule. They on June 10th playing the Jets at 4 p.m. June 17th, the Ducks. June 24th, Lions. July 8th, Mustangs. July 15th, GC Raiders. July 22nd, the Hitman. July 29th, the Patriots. And on August 5th, the Thunder. All games are at 7 p.m.
Start with a thought. Think. Work with the client. Brainstorm. Brainstorm some more. Break? No, not enough time. More ideas. More designs. Pick an idea. Make a plan. Stop. Check the plan. Love the plan. Do the plan. Go. Draw the logo. Get some input. Scratch that. Find a new perspective. Revise. Revise some more. New logo. New design. Okay. Grab the materials. Get the guys. Work. Keep working. It's all about the quality. Keep going. Finish. Polish. Get the job done. Make the client happy. Make them proud. Celebrate. Make it easy to brand their company. Mark your space, Chicagoland's premier sign company.